Why'd you just yell at me?
Because I'm pregnant with
'Cause
Alex
I'm preg-
Jones's
I'm
baby
preg-
and
no.
I'm going to abort it.
I'm pregnant with Alex Jones's baby.
Millie Weaver reporting for Infowars.com. We are here at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. And as you can see right here, posted up on the wall, we have a sign that prohibits concealed handguns as well as it prohibits open carried handguns as well. Now, I'm going to be asking some of these South by Southwest attendees if these signs banning concealed guns and open carry guns actually make them feel safer. Let's go see what they have to say. What do you think about these signs here that prohibit open carry and concealed carried guns?
Well, that's a tough question. It could backfire. I'm not sure.
It could backfire. Do you think it kind of puts a target, saying that a bunch of people here might be unarmed?
Yeah, could be, but you never know who could be in the vicinity just beyond this.
That's true. Do you feel safer with these signs here?
I feel safe by myself. I'm not going in there.
Good. What do you think about these signs here that prohibit guns?
I think it's unconstitutional, in my opinion.
Do you feel safer with these signs here?
I actually feel less safe. I feel like if somebody knows what they're doing and they're able to carry, they could protect me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you carry it all?
Yes. I'm not right now because there's a ton of those signs, but yeah.
So do you think this kind of puts like a target or a bullseye on, these type of events when you're advertising that people aren't going to be concealed carrying or open carrying?
Absolutely, yeah. Any place that has those, whoever wants to do whatever they want to, they know they're not going to be contested.
What do you think about these signs here that prohibit concealed carry and open carry guns?
There's beer. You don't want drunk people with guns.
Do you think that you feel safer with these signs here?
Yeah, there's beer.
If there weren't alcohol in here, do you think that it would still be okay?
I mean, I think people should be allowed to have guns if they want to. I've never had any desire to carry one myself, so I'm like, all right, cool.
No way.
Why'd you just yell at me?
Because I'm pregnant with
'Cause I'm
Alex
preg-
Jones's
I'm
baby
preg-
and
no.
I'm going to abort it.
I'm pregnant with Alex Jones's baby.
So you guys obviously wanted to be talked to then.
No, we did. We're just fucking
We
around.
just
How you
obviously
doing?
want to mess
You
with
doing
you
okay?
guys. It's all good.
All right, so what do you think about these signs over here that prohibit guns?
Don't humor them.
Oh, no, I agree with those signs wholeheartedly.
You guys are fucking.
Do they make you feel safer?
They do.
Really?
I am from a family who owns guns on a farm where they're used for predators, not downtown where they're used to kill civilians.
Do you think that these signs here will actually deter someone from harming anyone?
I think that's where it ends. I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
good.
But thank you, though.
Y'all have a good weekend.
The South by people, they just called to make sure that you could leave, probably. I don't know.
So I just got, all right, so he just heard, communication going on by South by Southwest people, talking about trying to get me to leave. So we'll see if security shows up. Do you think that this kind of puts a target on these type of events by essentially broadcasting that nobody's going to be carrying to defend themselves?
I think there's cops and security still that have guns, but like the average person, I don't know. I don't think it makes it targeted because obviously South by Southwest is a very highly secured area, and I think people know that. But it has. I've been here all week, and in my mind, I've been very cautious. This would be a targeted event.
I feel like that sign lets them know that people are watching. It's heightened security. It's like their eyes here for that.
Do you see any security around?
Not security, but like there's signs. Like if I read, I feel like if I had the gun and I read that, it's like, oh, I guess people are watching out for that. I guess not security.
But what about the idea of, hey, people here might be carrying. If I try to hurt someone, I'm gonna get, likely to have somebody fire back at me.
I didn't even think about it like that. Actually, I never thought of it like that, to be honest. That's kind of crazy to think about it now. That's crazy.
Because then And if they're seeing that sign there, there's an idea of, well, maybe nobody's going to stop me.
Yeah, there is that. There is that. But then there's people like that, police that's coming in.
Hi, how's it going?
Over here.
What?
Just right here because we're trying to get
Out of the walkway. Okay, we'll stay here. Yeah, so sure enough, police showed up. What do you think about these signs here?
That's good.
You think it's good?
Openly, no, forbidden. Openly carried handguns prohibited. Yeah, that's good that they don't let guns in there, right?
Yeah, the sign says no concealed and no openly carried handguns. Does that make you feel safer?
No. I'd rather just no guns in there.
Well, it is saying no guns. It's saying even if you have a concealed handguns license, you can't, and even if you open carried, you can't. So it's saying no guns.
Yeah, no guns is good. I like that.
Do you think that people will read this sign and all follow the rule and be like, all right, no guns?
Well, hopefully. I'm from California, so I don't carry a gun.
What do you think about this sign here?
I think it's freaking wonderful.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. Because, I definitely feel safer knowing that there's not people with handguns walking around in a music venue when I'm trying to have a good time.
Do you think that if somebody actually wanted to come do harm, that they would say, oh, sorry, I guess I can't come do anything. There's these signs here.
You could use that argument for literally every law we have. Should we make murder legal because murderers don't follow laws? Should we make... you could use that. Should we make shoplifting legal because somebody who's going to shoplift isn't going to stop and say, oh, shoplifting's not allowed? That wouldn't make any sense, right? We don't base our laws after what criminals want. We base our laws after what's better for the safety of the public. And it's been statistically proven that you're actually more likely to injure yourself with your own gun, but it does make you much more likely to actually be injured by gun violence having a gun in your home. So
does it make you feel safer, though,
Definitely.
with this sign here?
Definitely. I know people personally who have guns that are completely irresponsible gun owners that I would feel horribly unsafe if they were in here with guns, drinking alcohol, partying, and also had a gun. That seems like a recipe for a disaster.
Do you think that this kind of puts like a target, like nobody here is going to be able to protect themselves?
Not really. That's why we have police. If you look around, there's police officers all over the city right now. There's literally cops on every single corner. Every venue has security guards that are trained. And I think it's important that people who are trained in the handling of emergency situations should be the people to handle those emergency situations. Civilians don't know how to handle emergency situations. They don't know how to react when they're under pressure, when they're under duress. That's why we have police that are trained to act. There's literally cops right there. If somebody was going to come hurt us, they would literally be right there.
Do you think that we should get rid of the Second Amendment and just replace it with more security?
I don't really know about getting rid of amendments, but I think that we could definitely add more amendments into our Constitution. I am not for completely. I grew up in Michigan, which is a huge hunting state. We have a huge overpopulation of deer, so hunting to cull those natural populations is a humongous thing that's super important for our state. So I don't believe in getting rid of guns completely, but I do think semi-automatic weapons specifically don't have a place in hunting, and they're really just for fun. Everyone I knew in Michigan who owned a semi-automatic weapon used it to go get drunk, drink beers, and shoot out in the range, and I think that's unsafe. And I also think that it's unnecessary for anyone to own that kind of gun. When it comes to shotguns, that kind of stuff, totally fine. I totally agree. You should be able to have that, especially for hunting, that kind of stuff. But semi-automatic weapons, they're just not really something we need in our society.
But you do know that most shotguns, most handguns are semi-automatic weapons.
Most are not semi-automatic. Semi-automatic means that you are firing multiple rounds by just
No, that's automatic. That's automatic.
Semi-automatic is also that.
No, semi-automatic means you pull the trigger and one shot is fired. You pull the trigger, one shot is fired. Automatic is you hold the trigger, multiple shots are fired. That's automatic.
Automatic means you don't need to reload in between, which is not necessary for literally really anything that you're doing. We don't hunt to have food now. We hunt for fun. Like I said, we hunt to cull deer populations. That doesn't require you to have a semi-automatic weapon to do it. You can hunt literally with a crossbow. So I don't see that there's an actual need for these weapons in our regular society.
What about the need to protect yourself from a tyrannical government?
Well, I feel like that's the point of having a democracy, is that we are in charge of our government. And if you feel like you can't trust your government, then I don't really see why you're even supporting it in the first place.
Do you trust President Trump?
Oh, hell no.
So do you think that we should have all of our guns taken away?
Well, first of all, I never said all of our guns should be taken away ever. I said that semi-automatic weapons don't have a place in our society. And number two, I don't have a gun, so it actually wouldn't affect me if my gun was taken away because I don't have one. But I also feel that if the government really decided that they wanted to kill us all or monitor us, let's be honest,
they have way bigger weapons. They have drones. They have intelligence agencies.
That's why it
If they
says
really came for us, you guys, it wouldn't be the people with the semi-automatic weapons making a difference. It would be the people who are getting out right now, voting, taking control of our government, protesting, being active in nonprofits, being active in other organizations that aren't government related, that do fix these social problems without depending on our government to do it. And that is what I feel like is the way to keep our government from being tyrannical. Is
Do
keeping
you,
those
do you
person
know
down.
that before the Holocaust happened, that in Germany they had a gun confiscation and essentially disarmed the public, and then the Holocaust happened, and
You
the
know, in
people.
Australia, they just disarmed their entire population 10 years ago, and they have had literally no violations of human rights over there, and gun violence has decreased by like over 50%.
In Australia, we've got very, very strict gun laws, and it's very hard to have guns. You've got to have a license, you've got to be registered. If they're not, they take them off you.
Of course, people that are high up in organised crime have access to guns.
Well, you know, it's interesting because statistically we've seen in Australia gun violence go down after that. However, they've also seen violent crimes go up. So there's still violent crimes with stabbings and other things that go on, murders, and that actually has increased. Aren't there guns still illegally floating around on the black market out there?
Yes, it has. It's doubled the price of them. Allegedly doubled the price, at least, of the black market weapons. So.
And guns are guns are illegal there now, and they're still on the black market, right? It's just doubled the price and made it so people who want to break the law can get it, but not law-abiding citizens. However, you know, you said that there's a massive drug problem there, where you've got drug-addicted people probably doing the break-ins, the violent crimes. So does that actually help the law-abiding citizen that doesn't want drugs, doesn't want to have to buy black market, or does it really kind of help the criminal?
It's a good question.
If you have a leader come into power that wants to start making bold moves like Hitler did, wouldn't you feel safer if the public had arms? And in the Constitution, it doesn't say the right to have a hunting rifle, the right to use arms to hunt. It's the right to bear arms and form a militia.
Right,
So
but we actually
technically,
disbanded all the militias, and you know that militias aren't a thing that everyone has a right to form now as states, and I don't remember anyone freaking out
National
about that.
Guard,
Yeah, that's the
states
National Guard
militias,
does.
they do have states militias and National Guards.
Yeah, right, exactly. But do all those people need to have guns? No. So you're saying that your fear is that a tyrannical government will come into power and kill us all if we don't have semi-automatic weapons?
I'm saying it's possible.
You think that
It's happened in history over and over and over again.
Our current government right now.
Should we
so
learn
currently
from
right now you're afraid from that of happening?
Not currently right now, but I know that there are a lot of people on the left that do have fear about Trump. So I wonder, what did you say? All right, thank you.
Actually, sorry, what were we just
Sorry.
talking about? That was super distracting.
Yeah, I know, right? This happens all the time. So we were just talking about how, what I was saying is,
fearing that people are going to come into power and like murder all of us. Well, basically, the way I feel like about that is that you could make that argument about literally everything. Literally anything, anywhere. You could make the argument that the worst case scenario would somehow happen. But when it comes to dictator like related behavior, if you want to talk about things that people did before they became dictators, a lot of those things were defunding public education. That happened in Germany. You're not bringing that up. Aren't you afraid that because we're defunding public education, it's going to turn into a Nazi thing? I mean, that also happened there.
well, they actually had lots of Nazi youth programs where they started re-educating them and taking them to government, like state-run education.
Right, and this is after they defunded the public education there in Germany. And it's also what happened when an extremist right, it was actually a right-leaning side, that's a party that Hitler was part of, and he actually left that party. It's kind of similar to what's happening here actually right now. So really what I would be afraid of is people using fear to make everybody think that they need guns and increasing our gun violence, which will then make us have security guards in school and armed teachers. And I think armed guards in our schools sounds a lot more like Hitler than people just having basic gun control laws.
What about armed teachers?
That's still an armed government employee in our school with our children. You want armed government employees? You want to talk about government overreach? Armed government employees in our school is a huge government overreach. I mean, basically what's going to happen, a kid doesn't want to salute the flag, they get shot in the face. I mean,
Who is going to be controlling the teachers? We already have cops who are trained in this accidentally shooting people. Why should we give more people who aren't fully trained guns and then put them around small children? That seems like a really big recipe for disaster.
So we should just trust cops only to have guns and not the civilian population?
Oh, no, our cops need a serious retraining. There's a lot of issues.
But that's basically
But I think what I'm saying is I feel like step one is to have common sense gun laws. We're not calling for it. I'm not even calling for what Australia did, which was a straight up gun buyback, which has, like I said, resulted in an extreme decrease in the gun buyback, an extreme decrease in gun violence. But I'm definitely advocating for at least it to be as hard for you to get a gun as it is for you to get a driver's license.
All right.
I think if that would happen, that would be freaking great.
All right, thank you.
Have a good day, guys.
With Alpha Power by Infowars Life, you can be in charge of your energy again. Alpha Power helps with a large amount of functions for your body to help bring you to the peak of your optimal health. Alpha Power has a 4.8 star rating on InfoWarsStore.com. Listen to all these incredible 5-star reviews from verified buyers. Papa Black Wilson says, "Whatever's in this is doing something good. I take it daily as I would any other daily vitamin, and it's got me in a state where even the normal day of a few hours sleep, rest easy, and wake up positive, regardless of the amount of sleep I get." And what Alex was hinting at when he first released this product, yeah, the missus surely enjoys it. Frank John says, "This stuff is incredible. Wow, this is like taking brain force mixed with super male vitality at the same time. Alpha Power makes me feel well mentally, makes me want to exercise more, and helps me feel a little more confident." After about a week and a half or two, I started to really feel the huge raise in my male drive. That helps with focus too, like Brain Force Plus. I've tried about 15 Infowars Life Health products, and they're always of supreme quality. LJ says, "It's been 5 days since my boyfriend began taking Alpha Power. There's definitely been a change, for the better. Without getting too personal, our activity has increased, and that's fine by me." He also says he's got a bit more energy. I hope this lasts. One-Eyed Jack says, "Alpha Power. I took Alpha Power for the first time this morning, and after about 15 minutes, I felt so awake and alert and full of energy. I take Super Male and Brain Force as well, but I have to say, this blows them both out of the water." Defeat the Globalists said, "More energy at the end of the day. Taking 1 capsule a day in the AM, and even after being on the go all day, there's no crash at night. I'd feel exhausted after 8 p.m. Not anymore. Seem to be sleeping better too. I seem to have upped my water intake as well. I will definitely buy this again." Head to InfoWarsStore.com and experience Alpha Power today. That's InfoWarsStore.com.